say?
It was a weird movie. Buddy, you okay? Hey, buddy. Buddy! Buddy! Hey! Hey, are you alright? Hey, buddy! 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 Are you okay? Listen, I want you to understand. I think this movie is incredible. It's dark, it's uplifting, an action packed comedy, tear jerking, heart stopping masterpiece. In nearly every way, Everything Everywhere All at Once accomplishes everything it set out to do and more. This movie takes the medium of film and truly turns it into art. There was so much care, love, and thought put into every detail that it's incredible to think that such a movie could exist. All of its themes and plot lines, its structure, its characters and performances, the editing, the costumes, oh god, the costumes! This movie strives for perfection in so many ways and achieves it at many aspects. But in one way, the movie falls short. And that shortcoming can be summed up in one word. A word that may haunt the Daniels on March 12th, the night of the 95th Oscars. And that word is pacing. Its title really captures the essence of the movie itself, as it feels like everything is going on all at once. But just like the idolized bagel with everything on it that the antagonists worship, sometimes everything is too much. See, if you're like me, sitting in the theater and watching this became difficult. The runtime on this movie is 132 minutes, or 2 hours 12 minutes not including credits. And not a single minute feels wasted, but watching this for the first time stirred up an odd combination of anticipation and impatience, being so excited to see where the movie is going, but waiting too long to see it. I wanted to break down this movie's main structure to understand what was behind this feeling. The movie is divided into 2.5 parts. Part 1 is everything, Part 2 is everywhere, and the third part, which is more of an epilogue, all at once. Part 1 takes place mostly in the IRS tax building and involves a huge number of really well choreographed and well executed fight scenes. It's the longest part, being just over an hour, and this is because it is also where most of the exposition comes from and how we learn the rules of the universe hopping, or verse jumping as they call it. The combat is really creative and fun to watch, but being that the majority of it is packed to the brim with fighting, you begin to become desensitized to it. This here arises the first pacing issue. There are expository and character development breaks between most of the action, but the final fight lasts so long that it starts to drain you. But after that last fight, we jump to the second part. Part 2 takes place, well, everywhere. I decided to count out just how many plots were concurrently unfolding throughout the universes, and it came out to 7. 7! Those are just the universes where there are significant developments. It obviously flashes through way more and recalls a few smaller ones introduced in Part 1. But the main universes are the IRS building, the Sausage Finger universe, the Movie Star universe, the Rekakuni universe, the Bagel universe, the Rock universe, and the main Laundromat universe, which I consider to be the prime timeline. Most of the universes are highlighted by a certain character finishing their arc, be it Deirdre in the Sausage Finger universe, or Waymond in the Movie Star universe, or even the Rekakuni guy in his universe. They usually also overlap, allowing for multiple resolutions at once, and they all come back to the prime timeline, aside from the Rakakuni storyline. And let me just say, while there is some argument to be made that the Rakakuni storyline is to blame for the poor pacing, which could be justified because it takes time away from the more important arcs, I don't want to attribute all of the blame to what is an ignorable bit of comic relief. What's important is that it doesn't overstep when it matters, but it does hurt a little that that storyline didn't have a real resolution. I was hoping, if anything, that there would be a post-credit scene or something showing him and the raccoon together again. That would have been great. The ending of Part 2 mirrors that of Part 1, in that they are both poorly paced and a little drawn out. Each character gets its own conclusion, which is fine, but some of them should go a little faster, while others should probably take more time. My favorite arc here was Wayman's, of course. Ke Kwan gave an amazing performance, and his character is so emotional and pivotal that it brings me to tears. He really was the star of the whole movie. I will say that on rewatch, James Hong and Jamie Lee Curtis's conclusions felt a bit faster than they were before. My biggest problem is with Joy's resolution. When it reaches that cathartic moment, it is so rewarding, but the build-up to it feels too back and forthy, with what amounts to padded and repetitive calls to emotion. It's almost as if the movie doesn't value the build-up that it has already provided, and then it needs to further supplement the rise to catharsis that is already established. It's as if the movie has climbed this huge mountain, but before gloriously planting its flag, it says, this isn't high enough. Let me also climb on top of this step stool. I can appreciate the desire to always rise higher, but not at the sacrifice of my time. There is value in writing concisely and being able to focus the movie's attention on its most important moment. Now, look, does it ruin the movie? No. Do I still believe that it is the best movie experience I've had in a long while? Definitely. But that's maybe because I'm not as nitpicky as others may be. I can enjoy the incredible things and disregard the minor inconveniences. But if there were ever a reason for Everything Everywhere All at Once to not win Best Picture this week, it would be because of this. Because everything else about this movie, everything else, is incredible.